All right, ladies and gentlemen, we just had an absolutely phenomenal chapter of My Hero Academia. Now it's time to move on to JJK and find out what happens after Sukuna got bombarded by Jacob's Ladder by Hana Kurusu. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to yet another live reaction to Jujutsu Kaisen. Last we left out on, we had Sukuna, who was dealing with basically everyone trying to beat up on him, and him trying his best not to lose control over his body as he's still contending with Yuji, and he's dealing with Aoi Todo, who's still using his boogie woogie in order to give Yuji an edge, and despite Sukuna landing a couple of hits here and there, it's not enough to keep Yuji off of him. And then, while Aoi's switching people around, it gets to a point where Sukuna thinks like, I have this in the bag. I just can't let them touch me whatsoever. And while he's jumping away, Sukuna doesn't realize that amongst all the people that can be switched with Boogie Woogie right now, one person has been left out until this one moment, and it's Hana Kurusu, who unleashes Jacob's Ladder directly on top of Sukuna. And now we get to see what happens after that. Because as we know, Jacob's Ladder is a technique that is capable of extinguishing curse techniques and curses all the same. So let's see what happens after Sukuna gets hit by this. In Chapter 264, Inhuman Makyo Shinjuku Showdown Part 36. This Shinjuku Showdown is really about to have like 40-something parts, isn't it? Never in all my years as a manga reader have I ever read a series that had this many parts to it. But we have Hana Kurusu. We have Sukuna looking in that direction of Hana with wide eyes. Like his regular double eyes on this side is like, they're wide, and then his big eye on the side, that's majorly wide. Yuji's looking, Aoi Todo's looking. And then Sukuna proceeds to punch the ground and send rubble just flying into the air. He sends this amount of rock just flying into the air. And then he starts running up these pieces of debris that he sent up. He sent up as well. And Hana notices as well. Kotsu's domain. Jacob's Ladder's can't hit miss attack was focused to hit me as a target, but this one affects the boy and Aoi Todo too. If I race up the pillar of light, I can reach the angel without anyone interfering. And Sukuna's smiling as he's running straight up to Hana to try and take her out. And then the angel goes, "Hana, get some distance!" And then, while that happens, something breaks, and it's Sukuna, who's right behind Hana all of a sudden. And he's preparing to hit her. Coexisting with a fully fleshed curse means, depending on curse techniques, it leaves a sorcerer without physical reinforcement. Losing an arm made that difference obvious. Her output is less than last time. Before I get stripped away from Megumiku Fushiguro, I will take your life, angel! And he tries to hit Hana with a black flash, but Aoi Todo boogie woogies himself in between Hana. And he takes the hit. This guy's a sorcerer to the core. And the impact, he really does. Wow, the amount of strength he was going to use on Hana sends Aoi Todo crashing through an entire full building and into another one. With Hana with him. Taking Hana with him, and they're kind of laying in some rubble right now after Jacob's Ladder was, behind Sukuna. But Aoi got hit hard, he's bleeding out of the mouth, and he's laying in a heap with like a big solid mark on the center of his chest, and Hana's laying right next to him as well, but, she's still pretty much alive. They're out of commission. I can kill her later. Now only the boys left. And it shows Yuji, who comes sailing out of Jacob's Ladder right next to Sukuna. And he already has his fist charge up as well. And Sukuna just looks at him perplexed. He must have been following me, getting burned inside the light this whole time. Yuji followed Sukuna up Jacob's ladder, even though he was getting affected by it. He was all like, nah, bruh, you gonna catch these hands. And he proceeds to hit Woo! He proceeds to hit Sukuna full force. And while Sukuna is reeling, Yuji grabs him by the legs and proceeds to... Okay, so you know the episode from Naruto, when it's Naruto versus Sasuke. And he beats Sasuke in the air, and then he grabs him by the legs and starts somersaulting and flails his body. Yuji does this exact same thing. He grabs Sukuna by the legs and just with all of his might sends him flying directly into a building beneath them. Sukuna immediately gets up, and then something catches Sukuna's attention, as Yuji is already right there, next to Sukuna. Using Shrine to cut apart the building that they're on. And then Sukuna puts his hand forward because he tries to use a dismantle on him. So while he's flipping in the air, he tries to use dismantle on Yuji, and Yuji dodges, the slashes, and then it cuts to Sukuna's face, where it cuts to Sukuna's fist that's directly in front of Yuji's face. And he punches away Yuji. And then we get narration. Because Sukuna has regained his arms. After completing 2 black flashes, the King of Curses finally regains reverse curse technique, and Sukuna heals up completely. Oh, God. Sukuna has healed up. His arms are back. Any scar that he had is now healing up completely. He's regained the ability to use reverse curse technique. Adopting highly risky methods the way Satoru Gojo did isn't necessary. Oh wait, adopting highly risky methods the way Satoru Gojo did isn't necessary. As he grabs Yuji by the arm, with his available arm now. And he starts trying to beat up on Yuji, who's just trying to, survive all the blows. And then he proceeds to punch Yuji with both of his right arms and sends him flying. Well, he hits him directly in the head. With these punches. Now the boy can't threaten my life until the burnt-out curse technique returns. And Yuji puts his hands on the ground and he cuts apart the ground underneath Sukuna, causing Sukuna to actually stumble. And then Yuji places his hand forward and to try and dismantle, where he's not using Shrine, he's using Dismantle here. Sorry, I need to correct myself. He was using Dismantle where Sukuna landed, and then Sukuna regained both his arms, and then tried to use Cleave on, try to use his own curse techniques on Yuji, but he uses it against the ground, and that causes Sukuna to stumble. Then he tries to palm thrust into Sukuna to use Dismantle as well, but Sukuna dodges out of the way, just smiling smugly to himself. When the target of Dismantle's curse technique is the boundary between my soul and Megami Fushiguro's, it's deadly to a fully flesh curse like me. But, and it shows Sukuna punching Yuji directly in the face again. What does it matter if it doesn't hit? And Sukuna is just smiling, as Yuji is just wiping the blood off of his lip. He's all like, all that for a drop of blood. And Sukuna's eyes widen. And then something happens, and his eyes widen. And then we have the face of Jogo? Oh, it's cutting back to, wait a minute, it's cutting back to memories of Jogo going up against Gojo when Gojo was preparing to use his domain expansion for the first time. You'll expend a ton of cursed energy, but that comes with perks. Environmental factors environmental factors boosting your level is one. Think of it as like a buff in gaming. As for the other, and this is when Jogo sent like this big rock in front of Gojo during his explanation of how domain expansions work. A granted curse technique activated inside a domain will always hit. I'm sorry, Yuji? I'm sorry, Yuji? I'm sorry, Yuji? Yuji is preparing to use his own domain expansion. Yuji's about to use a domain expansion! I can't do the exact sign that Yuji's about to do because it only leaves the middle fingers up, and no, I'm not doing that. But he's basically putting his fingers together, but the only fingers, like, it's like this, but the only fingers that are being left normal is just the middle fingers. So, you know, enact it for yourself. But Yuji goes, domain expansion. Thanks to replacement training with Atsuya Kusakabe, Yuji Itadori learned the basics of barriers. And all of a sudden, we're in this subway area. And we have Yuji and Sukuna, who has the appearance of himself if he was still in Yuji's. Is this Yuji's domain expansion? And Sukuna goes, what the heck is this place? And then Yuji, who looks fine and normal without a single scar on him, goes, let's go, Sukuna. And Sukuna's just sitting there on this subway bench as if he's still in Yuji's body. Bruh, what you mean we are ending this chapter with Yuji activating a domain expansion? And of course, chat. Oh wait, I forgot to actually turn that on. That's on me. That's on me. That's my fault. Yuji activated a domain expansion. And Sukuna got caught in it. And my thing is, Sukuna, okay, so let's just talk about everything that happened. Jacob's ladder gets activated, and Sukuna retaliates by smashing the ground and sending a whole ton of rubble in the air to use it as a foothold to jump into the air in order to take out Hanakurusu. But thanks to Aoi Todo using Boogie Woogie on himself, he teleports and swaps places in front of Hana in order to take the black flash that was aimed at Hana in an attempt to kill her. Both Aoi Todo and Hanakurusu get put out of commission. Sukuna's all like, well, they're out of commission, so I can kill her later. The only person to worry about is the boy, and Yuji follows Sukuna up this Jacob's ladder, taking damage the whole time, and they both just start throwing hands, until Sukuna uses Black Flash again, and that allows him to recover his reverse curse technique, which allows him to recover both of his left arms, which he needs in order to enact his ultimate technique, which is basically that thermobaric curse technique where it just nukes the entire area. So, or the world dismantling cleave. So he's got all his arms back. He's healed up. He is capable of using reverse curse technique now. And Yuji is trying to use, dismantle on him. And Sukuna's all like, you can't do anything if the attack doesn't hit me. So then it's all like, then Yuji is all like, all right, bet. Domain expansion. And Sukuna gets caught in the domain. So now the question is, what type of domain is this? I wonder. This is interesting. Thanks to replacement training with Atsuya Kusakabe, Yuji Itadori learned the basics of barriers. And now he has Sukuna caught into his very own domain expansion. We don't get a name for it yet. We don't know what it does. But whatever it does, Sukuna no longer has the appearance of him inhabiting the body of Megumi, let alone the appearance of him in his perfect multi-arm, multi-eyed, mouth on his stomach state. This is Sukuna as if he never left Yuji's body. So whatever this domain is doing, I don't know if this is illusion or if this is directly affecting Sukuna right now. Remains to be seen. We are not going on break from this chapter, but I am anxious. I am anxious to learn. So let me see what you said there, Halster. Let's see. All my favorite manga anime are in their final arcs. JJK is fire. Also, I remember you reading the first 5 chapters of Kagurabachi, but it's now at 43 chapters. I would love to see you give it another shot. I did say in my session yesterday that I would like to get back into Kagurabachi, especially with My Hero Academia ending, and I'm already covering Sakamoto Days right now. Yeah, I would definitely like to get into reading Kagurabachi as well. Yuji is him. The power jump in this arc is crazy. Yeah, it is. I told you we could be seeing reverse curse technique this chapter. I don't remember you saying that, but I'ma believe you. Domain expansion, I can actually do that hand sign. Thanks, Yuji. He looks so confused sitting there. He's all like, what? Where am I? And I'm like, bruh doesn't even realize he's in a domain expansion. When has that ever happened to Sukuna? That was quick. Yeah, I kind of got through this relatively fast compared to my Hero reaction. I'm surprised Sukuna actually took that attack. I thought he'd somehow avoid it, but no, he tanked it and destroyed rocks to jump up across on. So this fight is like Goku and Frieza 1-year fight we watched. Yeah, kind of feels like. Yeah, you did. I read first chapter of Sakamoto Days. He is quiet, mysterious. He is quite mysterious. Not quiet mysterious, but quite mysterious. Yeah, it gets better. I'm going to be reading volume 7 tomorrow. But yeah, okay. All right, let's see what Yuji's domain expansion does. Also, when Yuji says, "Let's go, Sukuna," I hope this somehow leads to a boxing sort of deal. Whatever it is, Yuji is embracing this domain expansion right now, so I'm kind of interested to see how things go from there. I really am! Yuji has a domain expansion! Ain't that something? Who would have thought we would see Yuji have a domain expansion of his own? Because if it does, it's gonna give me real Magna versus Dante vibes when I saw Yuji power. Yeah, this is a good chapter too. Yuji using a domain expansion, this is reason to celebrate. If you had to guess how many chapters if you had to guess how many chapters are remaining in JJK, it's funny how it looks in out Sukuna in Yuji state, how it looks in when I saw Yuji's power, it's funny how it looks in out Sukuna in Yuji state. Yes, I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes. If you had to guess how many chapters are remaining in JJK. I can't really say, because even though Kenjaku's gone, is the threat of Tengen melding with all the cursed spirits created from the culling game still a factor? That's the thing, though. And we still gotta take care of the culling game itself. Like, does it end when Sukuna is, taken care of? Or is there another parameter that we have to worry about? So we need to make sure that we cross all of our T's and dot all of our I's before we go. Oh, sorry, Anime All Day TV. Let me firstly apologize to you. I immediately assumed that it was still Halster speaking to me because both of your profile pictures are both purple, and I didn't notice that it was an A there rather than an H, so my sincerest apologies to you for confusing you for Halster, my bad. And I just watched Deja Vu yesterday, so I think this could be part of his domain expansion as like a flashback power, kind of. If anything, it's giving me vibes. Well, I can't really say what vibes it gives me of, because sure, it could be like Deja Vu, because Sukuna's state, like his physical appearance has changed back to when he was inhabiting the body of Yuji. We've never seen this in any domain expansion that Sukuna has been engulfed in. He has never changed his appearance when he went into the domain expansion. But suddenly his appearance changes to that of when he was inhabiting Yuji's body all of a sudden? What sort of domain expansion is this? For you to physically change the appearance of the person who's being affected by it? What is this domain expansion? Man, excuse me for my confusing text. I am listening to you and texting while I am thinking. It's fine. Take your time. Take your time to write out everything that you want to say. So just take your time. There's literally no rush. But for me, it kind of is because I think family's here with food. And I got to get the stream set up for me and Gajil's Grand Blue Fantasy Relink discussion. But I am very interested in finding out what Yuji's domain expansion is. Because he's been trying, and I really needed to get back to this sentence because I skipped over it and then I broke off to something else. He was trying to use dismantle in an attempt to specifically hit Sukuna. Not to dismantle his body, but to dismantle his soul. And separate Sukuna's soul from Megumi Fushiguro's. That's the reason why he keeps trying to get Sukuna and trying to touch him. Not to break his whole body apart, but to literally separate the two. And Sukuna's all like, that technique will only work if you're trying to touch me, but it won't work if you can't hit me. So now Yuji's all like, all right, fine. If I can't touch you normally, then I'll make sure that this dismantle can get you in a domain expansion. And if Sukuna is not able to overpower this domain expansion, using dismantle on Sukuna is guaranteed a can't miss hit. And that is something that Sukuna cannot have happen to him. Because otherwise, it will jeopardize the whole matter of him inhabiting Megumi's body. So if Yuji is able to trigger this, well, he's already triggered it. But now it remains to be seen what happens inside this domain. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens next week in August. Because this is the last week of July. And we're getting the end of My Hero on the first Sunday of August. And we're also getting Yuji's domain expansion further along with the first Sunday of August as well. I'm honestly not much of a power scaler, but Yuji is a top 5 right now. Oh, easily. Given the fact that he has the potential to match Sukuna, to reach up to Sukuna's level, which is something that we've all came to the realization of not too long ago. Yeah, I believe it. But I'm done, ladies and gentlemen. This has been my reaction to Jujutsu Kaisen. And if I don't see you guys next week, all I really want to say to you is just thank you for the support of this channel. Thank you for all the love that you've shown me as I read these stories to you from My Hero, One Piece, everything else that I read on here. I just want to say thank you for all the time that you give to... Ooh, what is this? Tea? Sweet tea or zero sugar?
Zero sugar.
Oh, okay, fine. Yes. Zero sugar sweet tea is quite nice. Yes. Healthy for you. No sugar. But thank you everybody. Yes, I left that unmuted on purpose because I didn't want to turn it off. But I just want to say thank you for all the support you've shown me. Thank you for making this channel bigger and better every day with your presence. I look forward to the next time I get to entertain you. Seeing Yuji and Megumi, I really wish we could have Nobara again. It just feels weird seeing those two together without Nobara, even though it's been like that for so long. I know. We'll see how things go. But I'm done. Hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples!